Good evening. We want to thank everyone for coming out on tonight. At this time, the meeting is called to order at 6 p.m. I'm going to do the invocation. So let us bow our heads. We thank you, Lord, for allowing us to be here today. I thank you for everyone that's here, assembled together here. Look over us, God, that we'll make decisions, Lord, that is conducive to children learning. God, we thank you for just being who you are. We thank you that you allow us to come upon to another year, and we ask that you bless us and keep us, guide us and lead us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Good afternoon. I'm Catherine Blue, current chairperson of the Hope County Board of Education. Momentarily, the board will begin its organization meeting to determine its next board chair and vice chair. I would like to note that a quorum has been established and all 5 board members are present. I will now turn it over to Board Attorney Grace Penton to conduct the election for board chair and vice chair.
First, we will have Ms. McLeod from the clerk's office swear in our newly elected board members, Rose McAllister McRae and Jesse Brown.
Put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right. I'm going to say your name, and then you read the rest of it. I,
Rose McAllister,
Jessica Hendricks Brown,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that you will support the constitutions of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
so help you God.
so help me God.
I, state your name, please,
I, Rose McAllister McRae,
I, Jessica Hendricks Brown,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional
and
powers
authorities
which are
to support and maintain
to support and maintain
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
not inconsistent with the constitutions of the said state,
the Constitution of the said state,
not inconsistent with the constitutions of the United States,
not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of your knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
so help you God.
so help me God.
I, state your name,
I, Rose McAllister McRae,
I, Jessica Hendricks Brown,
do further swear
do further swear
that I will well and truly
that I will well and truly
execute the duties of my office
execute the duties of my office
of the Hope County Board of Education
of the Hope County Board of Education
to the best of my skills,
to the best of my skills,
abilities, according to the law,
according to the law,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we will move on, as Ms. Blue said, to the election of the chair of the Hope County Board of Education. Hope County Board of Education Policy 2200, election officers, organization of the board, states the board will hold an organizational meeting for the election and qualification of officers at the regularly scheduled December meeting of the board. It is December 10th, the regularly scheduled meeting for this year. And with that said, I now open the floor to nominations for the office of chair.
I nominate Ms. Catherine Blue for Chair of the Board of Education.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, we will now vote on the nomination for the position of board chair. All those in favor of Ms. Blue as board chair indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying no. Congratulations, Ms. Blue. You are the board chair for the upcoming year. Now we will move on to nominations for the vice chair position. The floor is now open.
I nominate Rosa McAllister McCray as vice chair.
I would like to nominate Ruben Castellano for vice chair.
Okay, we have 2 nominations on the floor. Are there any others? Okay. Would you like to state a position or anything as to your bid for chair or vice chair of the board? If not, we'll go ahead and move to a vote. We'll start as Ms. McAllister McCray was the first nominee. All those in favor of Ms. McAllister McCray as vice chair indicate by saying aye.
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 I've recorded 3 votes, Ms. Blue, Ms. McAllister McCray, and Ms. Brown. Those in favor of Mr. Castellan as vice chair, please indicate by saying aye.
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 So it looks like a 3-2 vote, and Ms. McAllister McCray will serve as vice chair for this upcoming year.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ruth.
who was the third vote for, Rosa?
I was.
I recorded, and I'm happy
I
to,
didn't hear.
okay, I'm happy to repeat if need be. Okay, well, I will turn it back over to Ms. Blue, for the remainder of the meeting.
Okay, at this time, we are now down to, approval of the amended agenda. So,
Madam Chair,
yes,
I move that we approve the agenda. Amended agenda.
okay. Can I get a second?
Can I get clarification, sorry, on the amendment? My bad.
Ma'am?
On the amended agenda, what are we removing? Okay, awesome. Sorry, just wanted clarification on that. Thank you.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made to approve the amended agenda. It's been second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposes? Okay. At this time, it's the chair's report. And first of all, I want to say thank you for a great year. And we're gonna move forward this year as to do better for Hope County Schools. I want to thank everyone for being here on today. On my chair's report, I want to acknowledge Ms. Keisha Deal. On behalf of the Board of Education, we would like to say your 4 years of service here at Polk County has been a lot. We thank you for how you stood. We thank you for your voice. And we thank you for everything that you have done. So we want to present you with this plaque. And it reads, present to Keisha Gill in appreciation for your 4 years of service to Hope County Schools, presented by the Hope County Board of Education, December the 10th, 2024. Also, I know you're probably going
Okay, good evening to everyone. I want to say thank you for allowing me the opportunity to serve from 2020 to 2024. I am not going away. I will still be participating, and I will be around advocating for our school district, because we want to continue keeping our school district moving in the direction it needs to move. So I want to say to the community, thank you so much, and I'm still here. All right, and thank you to the school board members that I worked with. There were some ups and downs. There was a lot of things that went on that was false. Not everything was true, but I want to say stand your ground. Do what's best for the school district. Fight for this district. Make sure that you are including everybody, even our EC babies, making sure that everybody is getting a fair chance with education. And I will say again, keep doing the good job that you're doing, and I'm still here. All right, thank you so much for everything. I appreciate it. And to Dr. Spells, I want to say to you, thank you for being that superintendent that you are. You have come into Hope County, got the parents involved. I like that environment that you have with the community and the parents in this district. I like the way we move in this district. We're going to see better things, and I appreciate the opportunity that I had to work with you. To Grace, good knowing you. I appreciate, your loyalty to Hope County as an attorney. And also to the cabinet, I can't forget you. I haven't forgot your emails. So I want to say to the cabinet, thank y'all so much for what you did, what you continue to do for this school district. So thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Keisha. At this time, we're gonna have spotlight on success. First, we have the custodian team of the month.
Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm sorry. Good evening, y'all. Go Cowboys. Spotlight School of the Month is Charleston Alternative School. I'm gonna tell you why Charleston is the Spotlight of the Month. Every week, for the last 3 weeks, I went by there once a week and I see Mr. Elton Bronson blowing that parking lot off. The next day, like he ain't did nothing. But this shows you how his effort was. He continued to prescribe and do better stuff for us. He fixed the machine when it tore up in the district with no complaints. Any school calling, he'll fix it. Mr. Elton Bronson. And the lady upstairs, Miss Lisa Hammond. Miss Hammond, she came out of the classroom to do custodian, and she loved that job. I tried to get her to go to the board, but she won't move. She won't leave Mr. Pickett. Thanks again, Miss Hammond, all the hard work you do. I also want to thank Ms. Within Richardson for making the shirts for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. At this time, we have a school grade certificate.
Thank you, Ms. Blue. Good evening, everyone. I want to share some great news with you. And before I get started, I want to read a letter that I received from State Board of Education. Dear Dr. Spells, greetings from the Department of Public Instruction. We are pleased to offer our congratulations to you and your entire district for your school performance during the 23-24 school year. Enclosed, you will find graduation and growth award certificates earned by the hard work of your students and educators. We are presenting awards for achievement and exceeding expected academic growth on the North Carolina's accountability system. In addition to displaying the certificates, schools may obtain web badge graphics that can be used on the school website or on printed banners. Whether for academic growth or graduation rates, these certificates showcase the dedication to academic achievement in your school system of both students and educators. However you may choose to distribute and celebrate these awards, please share the appreciation and congratulations from the entire Department of Public Instruction and the State Board of Education with everyone in your district. Folks, that's great news. That is very, very good news. So principals, as I call your name, please come up as we celebrate your outstanding achievements. First, Sandhope Early College High School for achieving an outstanding graduation rate of 98.2. Thank you. Remember, the podium doesn't move. Okay, Academic Growth Award is proudly presented to Don D. Steed Elementary for achieving the goal of expected academic progress for students during the 23-24 school year. Academic Growth Award, J.W. McLaughlin Elementary School for achieving the goal of expected academic progress for students during the 23-24 school year. Academic Growth Award presented to West Polk Middle School for achieving a goal of expected academic progress for students during the 23-24 school year. Folks, it's getting better and better. Scurlock Elementary School, come on down. Scurlock Elementary for achieving the goal of expected academic progress for students during the 23-24 school year. Yeah. J.W. Turleton. J.W. Turleton Academic Growth Award for achieving a goal of expected academic progress for the 23-24 school year. J.W. Turleton. Thank you. Upchurch Elementary. Upchurch Elementary Academic Growth Award, achieving the expected academic growth for the 23-24 school year. Sandy Grove Middle School. Sandy Grove Middle School Academic Growth Award for achieving the goal of expected academic growth for students during the 23-24 school year. And for you guys who don't know, this is Dr. Franklin Bowden. Thank you, Dr. Franklin Bowden. Sandy Grove Elementary. Sandy Grove Elementary. Listen to this. Sandy Grove Elementary exceeded Academic Growth Award for exceeding the goal of expected academic progress for students during the 23-24 school year. Exceeded. You're welcome. I got a couple more. I got another exceeded. San Hope Early College High School for exceeding the goal of expected academic growth for the 23-24 school year. And I saved this one for last because we're here at Hope County High School. Great news, exceeded Academic Growth Award, Hope County High School for the 23-24 school year. Thank you. Thank you. Principals, I want to thank you for your hard work. Congratulations to you and your staff for making the grade, and principals. I won't do it tonight, but Santa will be coming by in a few days with a gift for you. So again, congratulations. I'm so proud of these teachers and these administrators for their hard work during the school year. This is what we're here for academic achievement. So when we are doing great things in the classroom, the superintendent is very happy. So thanks again.
Thank you, Dr. Spear. Congratulations, everyone. At this time, I want to pause for a moment and thank Ms. Carpenter and her staff for the good food at the reception. Thank you so much, Ms. Carpenter. It was delicious. You always do a good job. So at this time, it's time for public comment, and I'll turn this over to Attorney Grace.
Good evening. We have two individuals who have signed up for a public comment. You will have 3 minutes to speak. I will keep time and give you a 1-minute warning. And I apologize if I mispronounce your name. I have Dejun, and you can correct me. Please correct me. Maltsev, and I probably really got that wrong, so I apologize. Please step up.
Good morning. Good evening, I'm sorry. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dejanay McAllister. I'm currently a junior here at Hope County High School, and I'm here today to address some of the concerns me and my peers have. With the supervision of Coach King, I was able to do an anonymous survey to get insight on how my students or my fellow peers feel about school, if they feel safe here, how they feel their academics are going, stuff like that, and evidence of issues we're having here.
And I can pass them out, not to interrupt your time.
This survey asked students about their experiences, and the results are concerning. Many of the students rate their experiences here on the lower end of the scales. Mental health support, academic guidance. None of our students should feel unsafe or unsupported at school. It is worrying that many of us feel alone in facing our challenges. Our biggest concerns are a lack of mental and emotional support, not having a voice here when it comes to certain things, and insignificant help for academics. We also identify issues with poor bathrooms, kids not eating due to allergy restrictions, broken seats, bus issues, well thought out punishments, and lack of general school spirit. These problems have been ongoing, and it is clear we feel overlooked as students. We understand that our principal is already working to address these issues. We think that is amazing, and she is coming in a rough patch. But we are also wondering when the issue will be addressed. With our new building date getting pushed back further and further, we are left wondering if the problem will be fixed while we're still here. What has been promised to us has not yet been done. This is why we're asking for change. If we the students do not speak up, nothing will improve. This is why we're asking for help now, before it's too late. Thank you.
Thank you. We now have Mr. Harry Kelsey.
Harry.
Harry, thank you.
You're welcome.
My letter to address the new board. If no one on the board has watched the arguments of the Leandro case on February 22nd, they should as soon as possible. We're talking about fighting for a share of $8 billion. This fit in with our civics discussion on the right to a sound basic education, which is the state constitution. And are we now meeting that or no? Address the legislature, the lawyer, at 6 minutes, 15 seconds. Justice Trey Allen asked the question, and I quote, "Do we have any students left in the case? Are any of the main plaintiffs public school students?" Again, readdress the county lawyer at 37 minutes and 50 seconds. Justice Trey Allen asked the question, and I quote, "Are any of the plaintiffs in this case still students?" And he states, if there are no plaintiffs in the case, does that not mean there are no students left in the case? Doesn't that mean we have no parties left in the case that are entitled to relief? We all know that it was not just for the plaintiffs. He argues that there have been no current interveners in the case, trying to show that the school district lacks standing since no one else has come forward. The state, I believe, is going to try and bury this case, and none of the counties that are in desperate need of competitive financing will go by the way of the dodo. Again, address the county lawyer at 41 minutes, 33 seconds. Justice Richard Dietz asked the question, and I quote, "Don't we need to make sure that the people that are going to get the remedy at least have an opportunity to say," referring to the students currently attending. We decided to write letters to Justice Dietz in class, which have not been sent yet. If this could have helped sway the justices, why has our legal team not talked to any of the students or teachers since or before February 22nd? One issue that revenue streams at the county for supporting our schools, and are we pushing our county commissioners harder to generate those revenue streams? The high school plans to publish published show a parking lot, lots of practice, or one practice field and a tennis court. Are we planning for phase 2, phase 3 that are going to make our campus the best in the state? And it should be the best in the state. It is time for major changes. We could be looking at an indoor track. We could be trying to build a competitive swimming pool for our area. Another 2 full-size practice field to hold summer tournaments for a possible lacrosse team or other club
You have
sports.
10 seconds.
This issue does not fall on top of the lap of one person trying to make a unique change at Hope County High School. She is trying to academically get us on the right track.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, which we have the minutes for November 12th, 2024, November 21st, 2024, school board policy first read, policy 7425, policy 7440, and policy 9125. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, at this time, we're gonna go down to information, and we have our capital project update.
Good evening, Madam Chair and board members. Thank you for providing this opportunity to provide you with an update on our fiscal year 2025 capital outlay projects. Next slide, please. We have 2 key projects that carried over from last year that we are continuing to move forward on. Those 2 topics, or those 2 items, are security camera system upgrade taking place here at Hope County High School, as well as a technology refresh with the Chromebooks. And both of those projects are expected to be completed by the spring of 2025. The completed fiscal year 2025 projects, can go back up to that other slide. Yep, right there. I'm pleased to report that the successful completion of several projects so far this year. These include fence installations at West Hope Middle School, as well as Hawkeye Elementary. We've replaced the HVAC unit at Oak Church Elementary School, as well as the classroom door lock upgrades at Rockfish Hope Elementary School, as well as Sandy Grove Elementary School. Next slide, please. Looking ahead, we have several remaining projects in progress or scheduled to be completed in 2025. Those projects consist of the floor mower for maintenance and an HVAC unit updates at Scurlock Elementary School that are on completion for this month. They're on track for completion of this month. We have the canopy replacement at Hawkeye Elementary School that's at the front door entrance, and the sewer connection at Rockfish Hope Elementary School are also scheduled to be completed during December 2024. And those are more than likely going to start taking place around Christmas break when students are not in session. And then we have the roof repairs at the transportation department, Turlington Cafeteria, as well as the maintenance office. Those are on track for February 2025. And in the spring, we plan to reglaze the exterior windows at Oak Church Elementary School, undertake upgrades to the plumbing in the cafeteria at Oak Church Elementary School, as well as work on the boys and girls locker rooms at East Hope Middle School, and both of those are targeted for June 2025. Next slide, please. These projects reflect our unwavering commitment to maintaining safe, functional, and modern facilities that support our mission, providing a high-quality education for all students throughout the school year. Thank
you. Any questions?
I do have a question.
Okay.
Chad, I heard you say, do some roof work at the bus garage. We all know that we need a bus garage. We all know that. When are we thinking about actually getting a garage? Because it's just, we keep patching things up. When are we looking at actually Do we need to go to the county commissioners for that? What are we doing?
Well, so there's a couple of steps involved with that. The first one is we got to figure out how much that's going to be. We already have the plans. I'm going to use plans loosely. But we have the prototype plan, so to speak. So the next thing that we need to do is probably work with an architectural company to figure out how much that's going to cost for that building, or that facility to be remodeled, right? And then we present that information over to Dr. Spills, and as well as involve the Board of Education members in that conversation, so everybody's on the same page. And then we may have to go to the county commissioners to seek out funding.
You had one time before.
We do.
They did a walkthrough.
We have those. Those are the plans that I'm referring to loosely. But we would have to submit those and get our architect to actually look at them to provide us with an updated cost on those. Because we got those plans about 2 years ago. And at that time, I think it was somewhere around $12 million, but with the cost of inflation, I don't know what that would be now.
So we got plans when, and you weren't in place. So we got plans when Tom Parrish was there, right? And we got plans 2 years ago. We're using it loosely.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the building is raggedy. I'm just wondering, when do you think we will?
The goal is to get those plans of action in place in the spring, by the spring of 2025. So that way, hopefully by the summer, we can begin those conversations, because that's the timeline where we go to the commissioners with our capital project requests.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Dr. Hunt.
You're welcome.
At this time, we'll have locker rooms, West Hope Middle School locker room.
All right. So thank you for this opportunity to present the update on the locker rooms. Flip it to the next slide, please. All right. Over the summer of 2024, West Hope Middle School locker room underwent significant remodeling, which included updates to the flooring, shower walls, toilet painting, as well as the lights in the locker rooms. However, the existing doors and benches were identified as needing immediate replacement due to their deterioration or deteriorating conditions. There's a total of 12 doors that were removed. There are some of them that we were able to, I won't say remodel, but continue to have those in place so that the locker rooms could have at least have some type of privacy there. But they do have poor alignment and wear to the wooden material, which is no longer functioning and safe, as well as the hinges that were not properly working. Those doors also presented alignment issues after the flooring updates, such as that necessitated their removal. When we went in and did some of that flooring, it did cause some of the flooring to be raised up just a little bit. So with that taken into consideration with the previous height of the doors, we do need new doors as well. Then the benches, there are old benches, showed significant damage to both the seating surfaces, the pedestals, which were posing safety concerns, and they were removed to facilitate the flooring updates and to eliminate the risks associated with their damaged state. Next slide, please. I'm currently working with several vendors to obtain detailed quotes, as well as to select material that will hold up for long-term use, as well as withstanding conditions that may be encountered, such as wear and tear and humidity in the locker rooms. We have identified specifications for new benches and doors that are durable, safe, and suitable for this facility. At calculation, there are 8 benches total, with 3 material options. The first one being phenolinic resin benches that are antibacterial and resistant to chemicals, humidity, and abrasions. There's heavy-duty thermoplastic coated steel benches that are UV weather resistant that protect against mildew and mold. And then there are the traditional hardwood benches with face glued strips and lacquered tops and clear coatings. Those are along the more traditional lines of benches. Then with the doors, there are 12 metal doors equipped with door closers, hinges, kick plates, and fireproof features, ensuring durability and compliance with safety standards. Next slide, please. These are photos or examples of the benches that I was just describing. Over on the left-hand side are the wood benches, in the middle are the phenolinic locker room benches, and then on the right side are the thermoplastic coated metal benches. Next slide, please. Then we also provided a door example of the metal doors that would be going up and taking the wood doors down. Next slide, please. And the estimated cost ranges for the replacements are, for the benches, they're gonna be somewhere between $7,000 and $15,000 for all 8, depending on the material that is selected. Then the doors are ranging between $40,000 and $50,000 for all 12 units, and this includes installation. And so that's a total of somewhere in between $47,000 and $65,000. I'm using ranges because I don't have all the materials selected at this time, as well as all of the quotes from the vendors. Next slide, please. So thank you for the opportunity to present this information to you for the needs of the locker rooms at West Hope Middle School.
When will you have the quotes, when we have everything?
So 2 of the vendors, I was supposed to get the quotes in by today. I haven't received those yet. So tomorrow I'm going to reach back out to those 2 vendors so that we can have those. We already have the quotes for the doors. So I'm just waiting on those 2 vendors to provide me with those quotes, and then I'll be able to have a total for everything.
So how did you go about getting the quotes? Did you put them out, did they advertise it, or how did you go about getting?
I asked Mr. Covington to reach out to a company that he works with for the athletics department previously for the quotes for those benches. And then I reached out to 2 other companies that were recommended to me. And so no, because they weren't past that large threshold, I didn't do an RFP or an RFQ, but just solicited informally to those vendors.
Any other questions?
Well, there's a couple more things to add to that.
Okay.
And we'll also, while we're still at West, there's, we'll have some quotes for a roof, and we'll also have some quotes for the shades. So I'll bring all those together.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we have Zumba.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, and all others. My name is Kimberly Massey. I am Child Nutrition Assistant Director, but I'm standing today as a Zumba instructor. So I was a Zumba instructor for Hope County Schools starting in 2015 through COVID around March of 2020. We held Zumba at McLaughlin, Upchurch Gym, as well as Hope County Gibson Cafeteria. Zumba was held on Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays from 5 to 6. So to participate in Zumba, first of all, Zumba is a Latin-inspired cardio workout. The word Zumba means to have fun and to move fast. So Zumba was a free opportunity for our community. Zumba classes included our teachers, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, directors, finance officers, pastors, and doctors in our community. So my vision for Zumba was that anyone that entered the class burdened heavy for whatever reason, because of a bad day at work, a bad day at home, a bad doctor's report, my vision was for you to exit lighter, lighter physically, lighter emotionally, lighter mentally. That was my vision for my class. We always tried to end class. Our cool down song was always an inspirational, uplifting song so that you could actually be uplifted and indeed exit lighter than you were. Next slide, please. And you can continue. So I often said to the class that Zumba is so much more. It's more than a workout. We had a number of Z-Love projects, is what I like to call them, where Zumba was a ministry. It wasn't just a cardio workout. We were able to give back to our community through Zumba. I want to highlight 3 Z-Love projects that were undertaken during my tenure as Zumba instructor. Next slide. So the first project, in 2018, I teamed up with Hope County alumni Valerie McMillan and Tommy Walker for a Zumba-thon here for a Hope County graduate for our scholarship fund. If you go to the next few slides, you can see some pictures of some participants at the Zumba-thon. You can see the smiles. You can see the positive energy. You can keep going. So this was one of our Z-Love projects. Keep going. Okay, and that's the group. Okay, and next slide, please. Okay, another Z-Love project that I would like to highlight. One of our, I call them Zumba, we were more like a big family. One of our Zumba family members was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She transitioned. So we adopted her daughter for our back to school Z-Love project. You can see these items here that our participants donated. Since Zumba is free, then it's not very hard to get people to give. And I mean, as you know, whenever you give, you have to give to receive. If we just have our fists closed and we're never open to giving, then it's hard to receive back. So we gave as a Zumba family. These are the items that we collected for our Z-Love project. And ironically, just 2 months ago, I saw, this was done about 7 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And a couple months ago, I saw the little girl that we donated all of these things to, and she remembered. And she came up to me and hugged me and told me thank you. So that's, again, just a representation of what Zumba is. It's so much more. And lastly, I have one more Z-Love project that I'd like to highlight. This was Stepping Up in Pink to Stomp Cancer Out. During our time in Zumba, I was also a step instructor. So this was our Z-Love project. One of our participants gave her testimony, and she shared how the impact that Zumba had on her life. She shared how, because of Zumba, she exerted herself and she was able to recognize some of the symptoms from breast cancer, and her diagnosis was caught in the early stages, and she attributed that to Zumba. So the Zumba family was there during her diagnosis. The Zumba family was there during chemo and radiation. There would be days when she would feel like coming to participate. She would come and join us for a few minutes, or just come for the positive energy of Zumba. And then these last pictures are showing where thankfully we were able to also celebrate her victory. We gave pink roses to the breast cancer survivors, to those that were still in the fight. We released balloons. We had at the end of the class, I mentioned earlier that the pastors, so there was a pastor and first lady that was there. They prayed over the survivors. They prayed over those that were still in the fight, prayed over our schools, over our community. So again, Zumba is so much more. Next slide, please. So my current vision is to just continue doing pretty much, pick up exactly where I left off, addressing the whole being, not just a physical body, but mental health, emotional health. Again, that anyone that enters class heavy left out a little lighter because of Zumba. So thank you for your time. Let's bring Zumba back to Hope County Schools.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have a question. At one time, I thought you wanted to do it in one particular place, so we wouldn't have to is that?
Yes, it would be nice if we could only use McLaughlin And I would like to start back only 2 days a week, maybe Tuesday, Thursdays at McLaughlin. And the reasoning is all 3 facilities were great, but sometimes we had conflicts at Upchurch with Parks and Recs practicing there, or our high school teams would be practicing there. And then the cafeteria is not really ideal either. So McLaughlin just seemed to be a good centralized location. The custodian worked well with us, and it seemed to work well with that particular location.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Ruben, you got a question?
Kim, have you ever had any problems with anyone being injured?
I have not, and I meant to mention, in the class also, we had a waiver that each participant had to complete before. I usually would email them, or I would have hard copies on hand. Each participant had to complete a waiver before participating. And also on the daily sign-in sheet, there was an abbreviated release of liability at the top of that as well. At the time, the legal counsel approved that waiver that we were having completed, and we have submitted a waiver to Grace this time as well. But we have never had an injury. So I have extra copy I can share.
Ruben, did you have a question?
I think it's being answered.
Okay,
She continues to speak.
okay.
So the waiver, do you want me to? Okay, so the waiver,
Excuse me, is that your question? Is that,
My basic question is that the same documentation we shown on the email?
I'm assuming that what I sent to the board is what's being presented, but I do not know because I sent it to the board and not directly to Ms. Massey.
Okay, so where did you get that, those documents from?
this document?
Yes.
So I submitted these documents to, Dr. McAllister McCray.
that's what you sent, Grace, to the board?
So there's a revised version that is not the updated version.
So this is not.
It's very similar. There are very few changes.
Okay.
So, Madam Chair,
Yes.
so is there any, steps taken to where somebody that has knowledge of the, class and, shows up unexpectedly, not knowing that they, gotta sign something, and they just sneak in there and they get injured?
You said that there's some knowledge of it?
So you got class going on,
Yes.
and somebody just shows up and they bypass all the, procedures to, ensure that they know that they have their, that if they get injured, we're not liable. Is there a procedure in place to make sure that that doesn't happen?
Yeah, there's no written procedure in place, but, as I mentioned before, we were pretty much a family, and I'm facing the participants. So I'm seeing people as they come in the door. So I will stop and address, and just I have the waivers on hand.
Okay.
They are on hand there. And then the waivers too have emergency contact information. So I would keep the waivers in a booklet there on hand so that, God forbid, but if an emergency did arise, that we would be able to reach the person's emergency contact. So if we need to add someone to monitor the door, maybe we could add that or look into that, or.
Madam Chair, I just wanna make sure that there's a procedure in place to where you're the instructor. So you're gonna be busy, and then people are doing what they're doing, and then all of a sudden somebody just gets into the group and that person is the one that did not sign anything and gets injured.
Yeah, I'm busy, but I'm looking.
Now, is there a compensation for you being the instructor? How did that work?
There was a stipend. And that was actually at that time, it was between Hope County Schools and Hope County Parks and Recs.
Any other questions? Thank you, Ms. Benson.
Thank you.
At this time, we have Fan Hope Early College schedule change.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Leslie Neal. I have the pleasure of being the principal at Sandhook Early College. Sandhook has an established culture of academic excellence as notified and as recognized by NCDPI. So we know that there's lots of great things that are happening in the building. However, our new challenge and one of our school improvement goals is for us to address our graduation rate from the community college program that we have access to. Our goal is to increase the number of our students who are taking advantage of that opportunity. And we want to make sure that we are tailoring our day to support that goal for all of our students who are coming to Sandhook. We had a conversation with some of our staff members about what do we believe, how differently can we use some of our time on campus so that we're able to work consistently towards that goal. And what we've done is we've come up with a schedule that just rearranges our day. Sandhook has maintained an advisory period on Fridays in the morning and then an afternoon Friday advisory time as well. What we are proposing is that we move our Friday morning advisory time to Monday morning. We were the recipients of a $25,000 grant through JACAPA, which is an online platform that addresses soft skills for students and staff members. So after polling our staff, we asked, hey, would we like to start our week off with a goal and with a focus with some of the soft skills that are being identified through this program? And the feedback that we got from our staff is that we'd like to start that Monday off with a focus for the week. So we're planning to move our morning advisory to Monday instead of Friday morning, and then moving our Friday afternoon advisory to the morning time. Friday afternoon for most of us is the time where we're ready to get home. And what we want to be able to do with our students is to start off that Friday morning being able to address any of the concerns that our students may have. We do an interdisciplinary project that is called WIN, Whatever I Need. So students are able to work on their long-term interdisciplinary projects. Two, they're able to seek additional help from their teachers during the day. And also if they need to do any type of peer tutoring, we're going to make sure that we offer that as an opportunity as well during that time. We're taking that morning time. We typically have been on a staggered schedule for Monday through Thursday, and Friday everyone comes in at the same time. So freshmen they currently come in at 8 o'clock and upperclassmen come in at 8:30. We are proposing that we use that 8 to 8:30 time for all students for intervention and tutoring. So we're expecting our teachers to request students to come to them for the additional help. This helps us to solve a couple problems. One, students not staying after school for tutoring because I don't have a ride, kind of eliminating that excuse, right? Two, we are able to use that time with our staff members to address some collaboration concerns. We are moving in the direction of weekly data meetings, and we're looking when can we have those opportunities. Because we already have our staff members on campus at 7:45, we are able to use that time until 8:30 to address those concerns as well. So we've already arranged a schedule when different departments we're going to meet, as well as being able to address some AIG concerns and having teams meet during that time, and our teachers, our AIG coordinators being able to meet with our students as well. So we have reallocated some of our instructional time. One thing that we have maintained is the 10-minute break in between class periods. That gives students an opportunity, one, to go to the restroom. We have one set of student bathrooms on campus. They do have access to those in Johnson Hall, but primarily in our building, we only have one set. We only also have one staff bathroom as well. So we need to give time for everyone to take care of those natural concerns. Two, it gives students an opportunity to socialize. I think that we definitely have high expectations for our students, and it's a rigorous program. They need time to breathe in between those classes. We'll maintain the afternoon power up time as well, and making sure that we are taking the time that we have and making good use of it. So that is our proposal. It does not impact transportation at all. Students will arrive at the same time on the school bus that they arrive now. We will share this opportunity with our parents just as soon as we have presented it to you all this evening. so that parents can get their students to school at 8 o'clock if they need that additional tutoring. But class will officially begin for all students at 8:30. Any questions?
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the vacancy report.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I do have a question. Are we, is Santa Hope asking for approval for this, or are they just asking for, they're giving us this information?
It's up on the information. So do we need to approve?
That's my
This-
question.
I don't think
No,
so.
okay, just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Spells, good evening. Just here to present the vacancy report. As of today, we have a total of 103 vacancies. That includes certified as well as classified positions. This is a total of, for as I certified, 8 less than what we had last month. So last month is 111, we have 103 today for certified, and we still have the 21 for classified, but we have a reduction in classified, that will be discussed later in closed session. I just want to say, starting in January after the holidays, we go into full recruitment efforts for our district. So we will be starting with recruiting teachers for the new school year and try to fill some of the vacancies that we have for this current school year.
And you're hitting hard on bus drivers.
Yes, and bus drivers. We kick off our bus driver campaign as well.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Dr. Fortenberry. We will now have our financial monthly update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm before you to give the month-to-date financials. This month, it's not going to be numbers, it's going to be more verbiage. We've had 16 NCDPI allotment revisions since the last meeting. Yes. So, and revisions are for several reasons. We may have funding may be released at a different date. We may get new funding allotments, and approval dates may vary. Those are some of the reasons, and we've had so many, we want to make sure that our numbers are on point as far as our amendments and our presentations. Next slide. Next slide. Part of the reason for the revisions we've just laid out, the financial landscape is changing in DPI. Partly due to their platform modernization. We're going to different cash sites, and different of the sites that we use are changing. So they're having to upgrade and learn, we're having to upgrade and learn. So that's why it's taking just a little bit longer for DPI to get the information to us and for us to utilize it the way we need to. However, our finance department's goal is to produce accurate reporting. And we want to use the most comprehensive allocation data. So we feel like doing our amendments in January instead of trying to rush and do them, because some of the approvals literally came last week. So we want to make sure that everything is included, is most inclusive, and that so we have a clearer picture of the landscape by January for an amendment. Next slide. We're currently in our audit for fiscal year 23-24. It began in October. Right now, we're still submitting documentation. They're still requesting documentation. It's ongoing. As soon as they complete their requests and we submit everything that they've requested, within a week or so, at the least, they'll have the audit complete. And as that time grows closer, we'll let you guys know. It began October 28th and it's still ongoing. Yes, ma'am. Any questions?
How far are they?
into the audit? I mean,
They're a significant way. I spoke with them actually yesterday and today. So it's just a matter of finishing out, sending the documentation that we need to present. So it shouldn't be that much longer.
Are they coming on site?
They've been on site. They came the week of the 28th of October, and I'm sure they will be back before the process is over and to present to you guys as well. Any more questions?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have the action items. We have American Capital Chromebook leasing agreement.
Good evening, board members. Tonight I'd like to provide you with an update and next steps regarding the Chromebook refresh that you approved during our special call meeting in October. At that meeting, you voted to approve the purchase of devices, and now we have received lease documents necessary to complete our transaction. Let me take a moment to explain how this process works, especially for those of you who may be new to this type of agreement. For Chromebook purchases of this scale, it is typical for school districts to enter into a lease to purchase agreement with a financial institution. For this purchase, the institution we are working with is American Capital. These agreements are structured to include a dollar buyout per device at the end of the lease term, meaning at the conclusion of the lease, the devices will belong to the district. Historically, this buyout fee is waived, making the agreement highly cost-effective for us. For reference, during our last major Chromebook refresh in 2020, we also worked with American Capital using the same lease to purchase model. The documents before you tonight for your approval are identical in structure and content to those used in that previous agreement. In addition to the signed lease documents, our legal counsel is required to issue an opinion letter as part of this process. This letter affirms the legal validity of the agreement and ensures that all requirements have been met. That opinion letter is included in your packet for your review. I want to acknowledge that while some of you may not be familiar with this process, it is a standard approach for large technology purchases like this one, and one we have successfully used in the past. With your approval of these documents tonight, we will be able to finalize the agreement and move forward with the purchase. Thank you.
Any questions? Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve the American Capital Chromebook leasing agreement?
So moved.
Second. Okay, the motion has been made to approve the American Capital Chromebook leasing agreement. It's been second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. At this time, we're gonna go into closed session